So about a month ago, maybe longer, I asked you guys to give me some of your hot takes on the Halo games and lore. So I'm going to read some of these out and give my opinion on these. Some of them seem to be hot takes, some of them aren't, but I'm going to read them out and give my thoughts on them anyway. So first off, Halo 3's campaign combat is fun, but ultimately not challenging because the brutes were too dumb / exploitable. That I completely agree with that. Halo 3 is not a challenging game at all in my opinion, even on Legendary. The game's probably most fun played on Heroic and Legendary. They are extremely exploitable, but I don't think challenge is what they were going for with Halo 3. It's definitely just a fun game all around. If you really want to challenge, obviously everybody knows Halo 2 is the game to play, but Halo 3 I think on Legendary is still very fun. There's a line between fun and torture, like with Halo 2 obviously, but Halo 3's Legendary, you know, is still fun. It's not too challenging, so I agree with you on that one. Roadman, I have no problems with reach armor abilities, even armor lock. I mostly play BTB or invasion. In invasion, the classes and abilities are decently balanced with weapons, and in BTB, honestly 90% of players just use sprint / jetpack. I do agree with that. I feel like the armor lock, you know, cliche or, you know, hatred towards it is, I think it's just a trend at that point. I feel like a lot of people don't actually have those thoughts. They may just be going along with it. Armor lock, who cares? I know it's annoying you driving a ghost someone armor locks, but that's just part of the game. It's an ability. If I got to choose any of the abilities, like Roadman says, it would be sprint or jetpack. I would not choose armor lock because 9 times out of 10, you just don't get to use it, really. And when you do get to use it, you piss off one person and what? You just die. Like, people will just wait around for the armor lock to end and you will just die. I find it much more useful to have the sprint and the jetpack. I actually like the unicorn helmet from Halo 4 and wouldn't mind seeing crazy designs of that nature, even though I love helmets that look practical. I do agree with you. I think that's a Photos helmet. I could be wrong, but I do agree with you. That helmet was pretty cool. The only helmets I don't like necessarily are the ones they added to MCC for Halo 3. I think it's like Halo 4 looking. It's just like box heads with loads of circles and neon lights. It just looks ridiculous. It doesn't look like it could be real. Saying that, the unicorn one could also look like it couldn't be real, but it's still cool nevertheless. I think there's a thin line between something looking cool and stupid when it comes to Halo, because it is a sci-fi shooter after all. Not everything's going to be super realistic because it's a projection of the future, in quotations. Obviously it's not, it's just a sci-fi game, but nevertheless I think some of the helmets do look cool, but some of them look way too goofy. The lore is amazing. I think this is for Halo Infinite specifically because it says, but it would be cool to have everything in the previous games transfer over to Infinite. I do agree with that, but obviously there's massive limitations to that. I feel like 343 didn't have a major arching story, or if they did, they just scrapped it after Halo 5, because Halo 4 was a completely different enemy. Halo 5 has a completely different enemy, and then Infinite obviously is a completely different enemy. The only games that they've connected so far is Halo Wars 2 and Halo Infinite in my opinion, because it shares the same villain. I wish the Didact, you know, stayed and maybe showed up in Halo 5. It was too quick an end to him with that terrible boss fight in the end. But I feel like, yeah, like 343 are just planning the games from one to the other. Obviously they had to do that from Halo 5 to Halo 6 / Halo Infinite because that game was trash and nobody liked it at all. So I do take, you know, I do appreciate them changing it up for that, but I honestly don't feel like that was the plan overall, and they're just going from game to game trying new things essentially. I enjoy Halo 4's MP. It's a fun casual experience, not my favourite by any means, but I have amazing memories playing that game. Halo 4, it was okay. I think it's probably the worst 343 multiplayer experience. I did like Infected, although the Infected noise can get annoying after a long period of time, but I thought Halo 4 was enjoyable. I'm usually a campaign man, but I definitely did find myself playing Halo 4's multiplayer. I'd say Halo 5's multiplayer was better. I did prefer it. Too much of the wide audience reach on Halo 4. It didn't feel like a real Halo game. I know Halo 5 is a bit of a stretch too with all the different abilities, but I guess, you know, Halo Reach had abilities. It's just a lot of people didn't like the ground pound and loads of those annoying abilities, but personally I did enjoy those abilities in Halo 5. So I'd say Halo 4's multiplayer is one of my least favourite in the franchise. The Forerunners were far more interested when they were being hinted at being ancient humans. Yeah, I feel like the mystery around the Forerunners was definitely interesting in Halo 1 through to 3. Halo 4 kind of like blew the door wide open on the Forerunners, having them as the main enemy. I didn't like the dogs and stuff like that. I thought the knights were cool, but I would have liked them to be more sparse, you know, not so much as the front enemy. I know the Covenant was obviously defeated in Halo 3, but I would have liked it if the Forerunners were still a bit secretive, and maybe you saw them on the edge of the cliff, like in Halo CEs, when they, you know, first unveiled the Flood. I thought that was cool, very sinister, and, you know, maybe a slow approach to it. When playing Halo 4 in the trailer, they were just straight there, right in front of you, and it was a bit much from everything that had been hyped up, and then you see them finally, and it was just a bit underwhelming in my opinion. I liked the look of the Halo 4-5 Jackals and think they're the best looking in the series. That's definitely gotta be a hot take. I think Halo 4's art style was disgusting, and when I first played it, I was sad to see how much everything had changed and how ugly, and it just didn't look good. I mean, even I'm not the biggest fan of Halo Reach's art style. I don't like that much either. I think I'm just a Bungie, you know, early Bungie days fanboy. I'm not a massive fan of Halo Reach's art style myself, but just the Halo 4 and 5, the Jackals, the Elites, the Grunts, everything, it was just bad. It was just really bad. I just didn't like it, in my opinion. So that's definitely a hot take. I think Halo 4 and Halo 5 Jackals are the worst looking of the series. As bad as Halo 5 was, its campaign had great things. Sank Helios missions, each Spartan had different hoods with an awesome visor shape. Arbiter looked awesome. That is honestly my only good take from Halo 5. The missions on Sank Helios and with the Arbiter are the best in the game. That kind of puts Halo 5 above Halo 4. If it didn't have the Arbiter in it at all, then it would be massively below Halo 4's campaign. I did not enjoy Halo 4 or Halo 5's campaign. Halo 4's campaign wasn't too bad, but like I said earlier with the Forerunners, it was a bit much off the gate. But Halo 5 having the Arbiter massively put it up for me, because the Arbiter, I just love the Arbiter. Doesn't everyone? But yeah, the Arbiter missions were definitely the best point in Halo 5. They should put the Mark IV Halo Wars armor in Halo 2A, Halo 3 and Infinite. Best armor in the franchise. It is a really good armor, and it's actually a shame that they haven't added it into any of the FPS Halo games yet. Massive surprise, because I feel like, you know, it's bad to say, but if they put it in the store, I would buy it. I know that shouldn't be a thing that's ever said by anyone, but I would definitely buy the armor, because the Mark IV Spartan armor is really good, and we've never seen it in an FPS game to my knowledge, even in mods. Might not be exactly Halo, but I can't stop watching Red vs Blue. Even the bad seasons are good. Honestly, I've never watched Red vs Blue, so take that as you will. Hate me in the comments if you want. The Banished should have been the main antagonist of the post-Halo 3 era. No Promethean or Forerunner returns, just the Banished. I do agree with that. I feel like the Forerunner should have still played a part in it, obviously, but a lot more secretive. Maybe very rare pop-ups of the Didact and the Warden, stuff like that. Not so much the dogs and the Knights, as they were so prominent in Halo 4. I would have liked to see them still scattered around, maybe like the Librarian show up a bit and, you know, help the narrative go forward. But I completely agree with you. The Banished is definitely the best faction 343 has came out with. Armour Coatings aren't that bad. I do agree with you. Armour Coatings aren't that bad in general, if that's what you mean. But paying for colours like just flat red or flat green, etc. like that, that is a sin. Like that is just not on. That is ridiculous. But I feel like really cool coatings that they've maybe took a decent amount of time to produce and stylize, they could sell them if that's what you mean. But I do agree, armor coatings are cool. When they did the promotions for Halo 4 and they had different armor coatings, you know, if you'd buy codes or, you know, stuff like that, and you get special armor coatings, I thought that was really cool. I did really enjoy the prospect of that, and I definitely wanted to get some myself. Halo Reach and ODST are the best Halo games, in my opinion. Well, there's not a hot take per se amongst the community. Just in my opinion, Halo Reach is definitely not one of the best Halo games. Halo ODST is not one of the best Halo games. I mean, it is, but I just didn't enjoy walking around New Mombasa all the time to find missions. I would have much more enjoyed level after level, you know, Halo Freestyle. I guess it was a cool concept, but when it comes to replaying the game, it is extremely boring in my opinion, and something I always tend to skip. Halo 3's multiplayer is bad outside of custom games / Forge. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I agree with you on the point that custom games and Forge was definitely my main focus too of Halo 3's multiplayer. I never found myself playing Halo 3 to level up. I'd always try play custom games and Forge with my friends. That's most of my memories that come from Halo 3. I was never big into the multiplayer side. I'm still not massively into Halo's multiplayer personally. Before we finish off, we gotta shout. We gotta do the man Nico's. Halo Infinite is the worst in the series, though that ain't really hot or anything. Hot take rather. I don't think I agree with you there, Nikos. I do like Halo Infinite. I mean, if you're talking about the multiplayer, yeah, the multiplayer is terrible, but honestly, I've never been a massive fan of Halo's multiplayer personally anyway, aside from custom games. But I'd say Halo Infinite is probably the best 343 game they've actually put out. I did really enjoy Halo Wars 2 as well, but I guess that doesn't really compare because it's in a completely different category. But I'd say Halo Infinite is definitely the best campaign, at least, game they've brought out to date. I just wish that it didn't get cut so much because I would have loved to see what else they had in the game. And please bring back the Arbor. That's all I have to say. But that's pretty much it for today. If you enjoyed some of these hot takes, I'm not even sure anymore. I don't know exactly what they are. They're just opinions on Halo and its lore. If you want to go see the rest of them, then make sure to check the description for the community tab link. And I just want to say real quick, thank you so much for 10k subs. It really means a lot. I used to grow up watching a lot of Halo content creators, and it's crazy to think I'm one of them. I'm not as big as the people I still watch and have watched for years, but maybe I'll get there one day. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.